Oh yeah, it's that time of year again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about getting freaky. I'm talking about getting funky. I'm talking about getting fucking helpful. That's right. Hashtag HelpSember is back. And we are better than ever. This year, we're sponsoring two specific charities. Little Bear's sponsoring Locks of Love, which he's going to be donating his sweet ass locks to. I'm talking his head, his chest, pretty sure his butthole. He's donating all of it once he gets to 10 inches. I don't know if they're going to take the butthole hair, but he's going to try anyway. You can find more information about them at locksoflove.org. I am supporting the Beagle Freedom Project. They help rescue beagles that have been tested on and abused by labs and other major industry players and find them loving, new, and sexy-ass homes. You can find more information about them at bfp.org. Thanks for tuning in. Stay freaky.
Seriously?
Yeah, dude.
That's how we're starting?
That's how I start everything.
Every single thing. That's what we're doing in the holiday season?
That's how I get through the season.
That's how you get through every season.
That's how I get through every day.
This is just my life.
Welcome to my life, ladies and gentlemen.
It's beer tabs and cracked cans.
And speaking of welcome to Dish Gods.
Welcome. I don't think we introduced the show last time, by the way.
No, I don't think we did. That's our bad.
I was mad about the Jake Paul guy.
Well, Mad Max being Mad Max.
Yeah, that is me.
You are Mad Max,
and Mad Max, the quickness.
I am Little Bear.
Yeah, that's correct. You have answered 2 questions correctly so far.
Yeah.
Let's see if
we can go to the lightning round. Maybe I'll win something.
Okay. Yeah, I do have to get you your Christmas present still. So
yeah, same.
That's coming up, but yeah, no. Holiday season's upon us. We're like in the midst of Christmas. How's your holiday season been so far?
Actually, it hasn't really changed, you know.
Okay. Did you do any shopping?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm going to get all my shopping done this weekend.
So that's like the 16th.
Yeah.
Because, this comes out next week. So, okay. Are you planning on going to a lot of different places, or do you just have one place in mind?
I try to limit it to about 2, maybe 3 places, you know.
Okay.
I don't really shop for a lot of people. My family, they know I don't get them anything.
Yeah.
Last Christmas, I literally got my 2 brothers lumps of coal. Like genuine lumps of coal from Kentucky.
That's the way to do it.
My oldest brother, my middle brother thought it was hilarious. You know, he's like, this is a great gag gift, you know, like, haha. My oldest brother, though, me and him don't get along.
Yeah.
And on the tag, I was like, it's like Merry Christmas. And I said, Merry Christmas, asshole. Here's your present. And he opens it up and he's like, oh, haha, you know, I'm an asshole or whatever. And he opens it up and he's like, what the fuck is this?
Oh.
I was like, it's a lump of coal, you dick. And he's like, why? And I was like, because you're a prick. Oh. That's why. I was like, Merry Christmas.
You guys sound like a lot of fun around the holidays. I'd love to spend Christmas with your family.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, my season's been eventful, if I could say the least.
Yeah? How?
I was electrocuted.
Oh, yeah. I remember. Yeah. So we work at the same establishment.
Yeah.
I wasn't there to. Although I did hear you purposely stuck some forks into the outlet, and that's how you got electrocuted.
All right. Well, that's hearsay. You know, I don't think there's a lot of legal red tape around it because, you know, whatever. But it was interesting being electrocuted because I've been shocked before.
That is being electrocuted.
Apparently not. Apparently, like, they're very varying degrees of electrocution.
Okay.
Like a shock is just considered a very minor, like you got your hand on the...
Don't you die from electrocution? Isn't that where they actually get, like, the execution, electrocution?
I don't think... I mean, Maybe, but the doctor gave me treated me for electrocution.
Okay.
Like I went into the ER and the nurses were like, "We don't get many electrocutions." The two issues that I have though is that when they heard that I was electrocuted, there's a stark difference between being electrocuted and electrocuting yourself. So being electrocuted means that it was not my fault. I'm not a fucking bumpkin who's just like, oh, playing with wires. If I had electrocuted myself, everybody was treating me like I was a fucking village idiot. They're like, oh, you electrocuted yourself? Where do you work? And I'm like, yeah, I work in the kitchen. They're like, oh, like I'm a fucking idiot. I'm like, no, bitch, you don't understand. Like, it's not my fault. So, yeah, had a near-death experience. That was cool.
Yeah, it's always fun, isn't it?
Yeah,
Dying hurts.
So, yeah, it's just, I haven't been in a hospital in a long fucking time. And that was a trip to be, like, in a hospital bed. Props to the guy in the bed next to me. I didn't specifically talk to him, but, because we had a curtain between us, but he broke his ribs. And somebody came to visit him, and he was just not having his shit. The guy's like, so, Larry, broke a couple ribs, huh? That's no fun, I see. And he's like, fuck you, Bob. Just straight up. And
Just straight up, fuck you, Bob.
I don't think that it was like in a funny, like, fuck you, Bob. He was just like, fuck you, Bob.
Like shut the fuck up,
like
Bob.
Bob's
no one
cat.
asked you.
He's like a sociopath who came just to taunt him. Just, yeah, I'm fucking your wife, Larry. Like, holy shit. So, yeah, other than that, though, I'm doing good. Got all my Christmas shopping done. My family, I told them, I was like, hey, guys, this year, you're getting cards because that's what I can afford. And
Nice.
They're all virtual.
Oh, even better.
So everybody gets an email card, except you. I'm getting you a dope present. Just
Okay.
because you're here and not have to ship it out anymore.
Cool.
Yeah, other than that, it's been nice. I'm not really enjoying the cold.
Yeah, me either, man.
I'm over it.
Everything being frosty in the morning and
Yeah.
slipping on black ice all the time.
Yeah.
Not having it.
Yeah, and just like my utility bill is so fucking high now. I've made the mistake of running my normal heaters. I'm going to go and buy some from the store because I think that'll use less energy than these heaters. My utility bill is like 3 times higher than it normally
I'm
is.
telling you, dude, you got to invest in some heavy curtains.
Yeah. I'm going to move out of this apartment any day now.
Dude, you take them with you.
Yeah, that's true.
it's
just
worth
another
it.
thing to move.
Jesus Christ. They're
Yeah.
curtains.
They're curtain. That's so much space though. Do you know how big of a box you need to get to fit a curtain in?
You obviously don't know how to fold fabrics.
You have to lay them out. You don't want them to get wrinkled.
Have you ever heard of an iron?
Do you think I have time to iron curtains?
Well, if you got time to move all your stuff, you got time to iron curtains.
I'll be busy moving.
When you move in. Jesus Christ.
I'm unpacking. All right.
Oh my God. My God.
Okay, let's get to the matter at hand.
Okay.
Because there's something actually important that we do need to talk about.
Uh-huh.
So the government, specifically
The government.
FCC chairman, do you know his name
Uh,
off the top of your head?
Cat Jeet.
Kat
Jeet. He has interwebs for coin.
Hold on. The FCC. Ajit Pai.
Yeah.
Or Ajit. I don't know.
I don't know. Asshole pie.
I don't give a shit. I don't think that's ignorant. I don't care if it is because this guy's an asshole.
Yeah, he's a prick. This guy's a dick.
If anybody deserves ignorance, it's this guy. He's basically a fucking cuck who's just out for money. He's just sucking dicks left and right. Not a bad thing, but when you do it for money, for evil reasons, you're a bad person. And that's all he's doing. So he's basically, they repealed net neutrality.
Mm-hmm.
That happened. Pretty scary, pretty shitty.
Although it is still in legal limbo right now.
Mhm. Well,
So
naturally.
they repealed it, but now it's being, they're challenging it now. So it technically, like, it can't go through because now it's being tied up in court,
Which
in
is
the
good.
Supreme Courts.
But, and the nice thing that I've seen is that a lot of states are standing and saying that they won't acknowledge the
Mm-hmm.
repeal if it goes through.
Which is, it's funny too, because a majority of the people that kind of support this Ajit guy are technically kind of, I hate to say it, they're Trump supporters, which are also the people that are the don't tread on me people.
Mm-hmm.
So then they go, oh yeah, this is great. Support the president, support his cabinet, whatever, all this stuff. And then they go, but it's a state right thing. And then when the state stands up and says, no, you can't do this in my state, then they go, well, you're not supporting the president. And it's like, what? Well, which one who are you standing up for? I just don't understand these people.
Yeah, I don't try to. I just smile and nod, let them be on their way. There's so much ignorance, but we're not going to get into the whole really understanding of what net neutrality is. I feel like if you care, then you know what it is at this point.
Yeah.
But if you're not aware, we couldn't educate you any better than the people at battleforthenet.com could. So let them tell you what it's all about, tell you why you should care.
You should definitely care about this.
This affects
everyone should care about this.
This affects everybody from independent creators to people who just want to watch Dexter for the 4th time. Don't make me not be able to watch Dexter for the 4th time.
Yeah, or if you want to stream this podcast or any podcast, you shouldn't have to pay an extra $10 a month to stream podcasts.
Do you think our podcast would be on the exclusive package list of things?
Oh, they wouldn't care. They would lump it all in one stream and
There's no
say,
Dish Gods package? That's
no.
Good. We would be perfect for... Are you kidding me? Okay. Hey, FCC, just saying, if you do go through with this, hit us up for a sponsorship, and we will be the Dish Gods, and we will deliver your packages. We will straight up just be like...
I'll even help you right now. Hey, FCC, go boop yourself.
Yeah, see, we're helpful team players. So hire me to deliver your package. I will grab your package and I will put it in anything that you want.
Yeah. Any hole, grab those packages and just shove them in there.
That's what we're all about. So
square holes, round holes,
oval holes,
triangle ones are my favorite. You okay over there?
So visit battleforthenet.com for more information about how you can help fight the repeal of net neutrality. Other breaking news, something else terrifying. Not only are our robot overlords attempting to overlord us.
Yes.
Disney.
Oh, the next overlord
is part of that. Disney is just swooping up shit left and right.
Mickey Mouse with his white gloved hand.
He's got
snatching everything up.
He got Spider-Man, and now we got the rest of them too. Disney just bought out 20th Century Fox today, and I guess they own everything now.
They almost. They
There's
almost
a very
own everything.
Small sliver of characters that they don't have the rights to. They don't have the rights to Mysterio, which I am significantly bummed about, because Mysterio would be perfect for an MCU Spider-Man movie.
Well, that's too bad.
It is too bad. I normally, excuse me, I normally don't give a shit about this kind of thing, but come on, it's Mysterio. I bleed for Spider-Man and Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio. He's like the greatest wrestler of all time.
Yes, he is. And I would love Benicio del Toro to play Mysterio.
Benicio?
Benicio.
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 So now that Disney owns this platform, what does that mean? They own almost all of the major studios except for Warner Brothers.
Now they can put their own spin, and they can add musicals to whatever But then they're gonna try and make everything more family friendly.
Well, I heard two varying accounts of that, because Bob Iger, president of Disney. One source, and these were like major news outlets, one said that he straight up said that Disney would never make a hard R movie, which is interesting because now they own Deadpool and things like that. But somebody else said that he was looking at it as a way to make more umbrella movies and that they could make more harder, edgier choices under the 20th Century Fox label.
Okay.
So those are two conflicting reports. I don't know what's the truth and what's not, but it will be interesting.
I would hope that albeit they own 20th Century Fox, I would hope that they would allow them to maintain like an independent type of thing, like
Yeah.
they're just a parent company and they allow Fox, or at least 20th Century, like the motion picture, to continue, like you said, with Deadpool. Like nobody, if they made Deadpool a PG-13 movie,
After it being R.
nobody would go and see it.
Do you know what else Disney owns now?
I already know. You know.
You know,
Star Wars.
No.
What?
they now own the rights to It's Always Sunny.
Are you? Oh my God, they do. No.
So
My favorite characters.
I saw a great
I embrace the path of Frank every day.
I saw a great tweet that said maybe the first episode of the new season will be the gang joining the MCU.
That would be great. Or if they did like a fairy tale. Wait, did they already do a fairy tale type of thing?
Yeah,
Shit.
twice
Fuck.
at least that I've seen. So, but now that Disney, owns all this stuff, it's just like, how long is it until it's just Disney movies?
Just Disney owning everything.
And then there's like the independent studios, but Pixar's still out there.
Mm-hmm.
They're still making shit.
Yeah, they're actually doing pretty well too.
Michael Bay, I guess he has a studio. I think
Does he really? He owns his own studio?
probably. I mean, it would make sense. Who makes Transformers?
I thought that was J.J. Abrams.
It's not. Oh, Bad Robot. You think Bad Robot? That studio?
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, that's JJ.
Okay.
But
Who's
doesn't-
Michael Bay?
Michael Bay's the director of Transformers.
Well, I know that, but what studio does he like
I don't know. I don't know.
affiliate with?
I don't know.
Or is he just like independent?
You run it while I do some research.
Well, all I'm concerned really about this whole thing is how is Disney going to affect these studios and how are they going to affect the outcomes of these movies? Like how we were saying earlier with the PG-13 and
Yeah.
the R ratings, and are they going to change any of the characters to make them more, quote, family friendly,
Yeah.
unquote?
Okay, real quick. So the studio that made Transformers is DreamWorks and Paramount. So those two are also runners. I feel like if they're smart, I don't see why you couldn't bring Deadpool. I'm just going to use him because he's the one that I'm most familiar with, who's the most knowable. You could have him have his solo movies be R-rated, the ones that he's like headlining in. Those are our Deadpool movies. So you walk in for the Deadpool experience. But then when Deadpool comes into another franchise, like let's say he partners with Spider-Man in
Right.
the next Spider-Man movie, or he's in an Avengers movie, he's censored. I don't see why you couldn't do that.
Just have like a toned down version of Deadpool.
You could bleep him out. Why couldn't
I
you
could
do
see that. I mean, if he's
he's-
guest starring in someone else's, universe, so to speak,
Yeah.
then I could see a censored Deadpool.
Yeah.
But if you're doing a straight up Deadpool film,
It should be R.
it should definitely be a hard
a
R.
horde or.
Horde war.
Yeah, so I don't see why there can't be a little bit of both where, I don't see why. I think it's ignorant of Bob Iger to just put his fucking line down and say, we either do it this way all the time or this way. You can just sometimes make our movies.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a crazy shift, obviously, for Disney, but almost refreshing in a way if Disney did produce an R-rated film.
Well,
Like what if they did a dark take on one of their previous films? Like,
Yeah.
a
gritty reboot of
they
Bambi,
kind of
perhaps?
did it with that what's her face, the evil witch from Snow White. They had that one movie. I don't know the fucking.
Maleficent.
Yeah, they kind of did that, but it was it was just PG, whatever. But it was a dark take on whatever fucking her name was.
Yeah,
But it would have been so much better had it been
a hard R.
Horde or.
Hordor.
Yeah.
I mean, but then there's the gritty reboot thing that everybody's kind of sick of.
Dude, everyone, I can't. I'm done with reboots.
Did you know that they're doing a He-Man movie?
Okay.
What? That's a reboot.
Of an animated series.
Yeah, the same thing as Transformers, same thing as Ghostbusters, as the Ninja Turtles. There's no new properties being developed.
Yeah, because nobody wants anything new.
That's what I'm
Everyone
saying.
wants nostalgia.
That's bad.
Member.
It's a negative impact on new creators. Like
Yeah.
like you and me. Why would we want to write our own movie if we could just pitch a script based on Alvin and the Chipmunks? You know,
Yeah,
Well-
because it's easy money.
it's easy money.
Easy money.
So why don't we go do that?
Because I don't want to.
You don't want to work for the Chipmunks? I hear they're pretty easy.
Nah. I mean, I hear they pay in walnuts, and I'm not down with that.
Oh, okay. So speaking of Disney and properties, I want to talk The Last Jedi because it comes out this weekend. It comes out tomorrow.
Yes.
When we're recording this.
So we're recording on Thursday the
14th.
14th,
And it
and
comes
the
out
movie,
the 15th.
movie drops tomorrow.
And this episode comes out on the 20th. So I understand if somebody hasn't seen it yet.
I will be watching this movie on Sunday.
I'll be watching it on Monday, I think. So we're going to be I want to talk about some of the leaks that I know are true. I've been looking up spoilers.
That you think are true.
No,
I don't.
They've
I don't.
been okay, so you don't.
Confirmed, really.
Everybody's saying. Everybody's posting. I've seen screenshots now. I've seen
How? How?
people. You could sneak phone security as shit at these things.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna talk some probably spoilers. I won't say confirmed. I'll say probably spoilers.
Okay.
So skip
So-
ahead.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I would skip ahead a good 8 minutes at least. So this is your spoiler alert.
This is
final
your chance
warning.
now. Skip ahead. Now.
Okay.
Go.
So Luke Skywalker straight up, I'm pretty sure he fucking dies in this movie.
I hope so.
So we're going to get back to that. So he apparently, there's this whole thing where General Leia is trying to get all of there's 400 rebels left, which I guess makes sense. They're all in one place and she's trying to evacuate them. Kylo Ren is like, all right, I'm going to kill all of you. Luke, who never leaves Octo, the planet that Rey flies to, he never leaves that planet. He force projects himself. Doctor Strange is that shit. Onto the planet. He distracts Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren stabs his hologram, and then Luke is like, oh no, you didn't hurt me. But then you go flash back to the planet. Luke's crying in pain. Pan away, pan back. He's just a robe on the ground.
Oh, just like Obi-Wan.
And so people are saying either he's straight up dead or he like ascended and he is kind of like Yoda where he could become one with the Force, but he's even more powerful. So he might be able to physically manifest himself in the next movie.
But doesn't Snoke do the same thing?
Snoke was a hologram.
Oh, that was a
That was just
hologram.
a giant hologram.
Oh,
So-
okay. I thought he was actually projecting himself.
So I think that's bullshit that you bring Luke back for barely one movie, because I guarantee he's in it. He's in at at most half of the movie. 'Cause
They did the
it's-
same thing with Han. He was back for barely
Nobody
a movie, and
cared about Han Solo that much.
are you kidding me right now?
I was never a big Han fan. I relate more
Get
to
out
Luke
of here.
Skywalker.
I hate Star Wars, but Han Solo is the shit.
He's dope, but I'm just saying I wasn't like obsessed with him like I was Luke.
But I mean, the point stands though. They brought him back for like one film,
That's
and
true. But Luke's
he
legendary.
got stabbed in the heart by his own son.
Yeah,
And then
he was a bitch.
He went the way of what's that horn-faced devil?
Darth Maul.
Yeah, he went that way. He fell down the fucking chute.
Okay, but Luke is a legend. Luke is one of the most powerful figures in the galaxy. Why do you think he should be dead?
Because he's played out, man.
How is he played out after 3 movies?
He's played out. You know, they haven't done anything with him.
Read the books.
They're like, oh, the books. We're talking about movies.
All right.
Movies. This is why the Star Wars universe sucks dick. A bag of dicks. Because they're like, oh, the movie does this and the movie does that, but now you have to read the book and the comic, but now you need to see the movie that goes along with the book, but episode 2 episode 2 conflicts with episode 5, but episode 7 ties in with episode 1. So now you need to read this and the abridged version of this and that. And it's like, dude, can I just see a movie that actually has some continuity and makes sense? Is that too much to ask? Am I asking too much right now?
They have the Marvel issue. I'll give you that. For me, it's just a problem because I also heard that Snoke dies. Snoke gets straight up cut in half by Kylo Ren.
I would love to see that.
No, Snoke had the most potential. Snoke could have been like the creepiest, most powerful evil fucker that was ever in Star Wars. He could have like crawled out of the depths of the rim of the galaxy and been just like this twisted ancient fucking gremlin that manipulated his way to becoming the supreme leader of the First Order. And then he dies like a bitch.
Dude, honestly,
Cut in half like a piece of salami.
just like Darth Maul.
Who was also a bitch.
Dude, I gotta say though, honestly, when it comes to everything in Star Wars, like, don't get me wrong, like, I hate on the franchise, but don't get me wrong, they're good films.
Yeah.
You know, I'll give them that. They're enjoyable. I love to watch them. If they're on, I'm not gonna be like, oh, turn that shit off. I'll sit and watch them. They're great, but I just don't enjoy like the lore behind it. I don't. It's just too much.
You don't like the amount of backstory?
Not the amount. It's just
The way
how
it's produced?
Yeah, it's just the way it's produced and the timing that it comes out.
Like the way you're expected to consume the story.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous.
I agree.
So what I would like to see is just a massive space opera. Like that's how
Singular movie.
That's how I imagine Star Wars is like you said, Snoke dies. I'm like, oh, that's fucking sick, dude. Because this guy, this supreme overlord or whatever, just gets fucking cut in half by some newbie with a lightsaber that nobody knows, but he's like the up and comer, you know?
Yeah.
It's like watching Shakespeare on the big screen.
No, and
you know?
you're right. I mean, that's what it is.
That I can totally get behind that. But like the whole just the lore about it and everything, I'm not a fan. And that's what kind of really turns me off about the whole Star Wars universe.
Okay, I'll give you that. Can I give you one more?
Let's hear it.
Leia can fly.
Like fly, like just hover like Superman?
Apparently what happens, and I've saw a screenshot. I didn't see like a video. There's a space battle. Leia's ship gets shot. She's sucked out into space in a vacuum, and then she flies back into the ship using the Force.
Since when?
Can anybody?
Well, anybody, but since when can Leia use the Force?
Yeah, and especially
Ever.
considering that in this universe's history, Leia refused training from Luke.
Yeah.
So she would have no... So...
Through the whole series, even in the original one,
Well,
she never encountered, like, she would help. She called Obi-Wan, she called Luke and everyone because she knew that they could use the Force.
Well, she's also Force sensitive.
She was the
princess.
Well, she was a princess, but she was like the
catalyst.
guardian, like, for them. You know, she would like protect Luke and protect Obi-Wan because she knew that they used the Force.
Yeah. Well, and so
she never used it.
Well, in the old extended universe, Leia underwent some training. She could use a lightsaber. She could use the Force. These are
Okay,
the books.
so the books.
But,
this is what I'm talking about.
The books are no longer the old books are no longer canon. There's a new line of books, and the old movies are still part of the universe. So
God, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Between episode 4 and then all the new books and the 20 years that passed between episode 6 and episode 7, Leia never underwent any proper Force training. So I don't understand where she's just like, oh, hey, by the way, I'm Mary fucking Poppins now. Let me fly. So, and then the thing that I'm curious about is that apparently Leia is the last original character who's alive. I mean, you have Chewie and R2 and all those fuckers, but who cares?
Right.
So it's like they were obviously, it was like The Force Awakens is Han's movie.
Mm-hmm.
The Last Jedi is Luke's movie, and then Episode 9 was supposed to be Leia's movie. What are they gonna do now?
No, that's the big mystery. All the OGs are dead.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Well, I mean, Mark Hamill's still kicking, but
yeah. Well, and so is Harrison Ford.
oh yeah, Harrison
Yeah.
Ford.
But
But
what
I
if
mean,
what if Luke Skywalker didn't actually die? What if he comes back as a projection? How would you feel about that?
didn't they do that with Obi-Wan?
They had like Force ghosts. But
Yeah.
They couldn't. They just stood and talked. But what if Luke could like actually affect things?
Nah. No,
Okay.
wouldn't be down.
He does. He does.
That would just be, that would feel like too much like on the nose. You know what I mean? Like the Force is, I feel like the Force is something that a physical, that's what it is. Like you as a person can like force push something, you know. It's now if you're bringing like a ghost or like a spiritual entity into it, and then they force push you, it's like, really? Now you're like literally embodying the Force to force push somebody.
Well, Yoda was.
That's
born,
kind of fucking lame.
Yoda was born of the Force. He wasn't born. He was manifested.
Really?
Yoda's race. They're literally like Force.
Did you read that in the book? That wasn't in the movie?
I read it on Wikipedia.
Oh God. See, another case in point.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna show
Case
you.
in point.
I'm gonna go prove it to you on Wikipedia. So we're gonna take a quick break so I can show you stuff about Yoda.
Stay tuned for some ghost stories.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, and we're back in. Good break.
Yeah, very good
I
break.
feel refreshed. I feel funky. I feel ready.
Psychedelic.
I feel funkalicious, and I'm ready. I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna put my brave face on to talk some ghost stories. I recently did have a paranormal encounter, so I'm a little fragile, a little shook.
Yeah, you have a hard enough time watching scary movies, I hear.
I do. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You heard about the Blair Witch?
Yep. And Creep.
What? Okay.
I heard you had a hard time with Creep.
I didn't have that hard of a time with Creep.
Uh-huh.
It was just, you know, it was tense. I don't handle tension well.
Okay.
I'm on a lot of different medications.
Whatever you say.
All right.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
A lot of things help me sleep at night because I'm not scared. I sleep very well.
Uh-huh.
So, so do you want to tell the story? Or do you want to split it?
I feel like we should split it. Let's get some perspective on here.
So,
You know?
like we said earlier in the episode, we work in the same kitchen, and it's haunted.
Yeah, it most definitely is.
There's
Definitely some activity going on there.
there's at least a poltergeist
Or something.
or something, maybe a demon, but it can interact with the physical world. We know that.
Yes.
So you've
most
had-
definitely can.
You've had run-ins. I'll tell my run-ins because I've only had 2,
Okay.
and you've had more than I have.
I've had at least anywhere between 4 to 5
Yeah.
run-ins.
So, the first time I experienced this paranormal force, I was just standing at this counter doing my thing, and I felt a tug on my shirt, and I turned around, and I expected somebody to be there, and somebody wasn't,
Yeah.
and my shirt dead ass was yanked on. So that was the first time. Freaked me out. I told you. Everybody else was like, "Yeah, it's a fucking ghost." And then you were involved, but not there. The second time around, where you had gone to go put something away, and one of our steamers, which
Yeah.
is very old, very hard to turn on and off.
Yeah, it's a big box convection steamer.
It just, you have to like crank the handle to turn it on.
Yeah, it's this giant like plastic
Lever.
like black. It's a metal handle, but it's coated in plastic. And the gears are very kind of worn, so
Yeah.
you have to really give it some oomph
Yeah.
to push it. So it goes up to the right at a 90-degree angle for off, and down 180 for the on position. So when I was standing directly in front of it, and it was cold as ice. It's been off for at least an hour.
I would say 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah, at least 2.
Yeah.
It was cold. It was totally fucking cold. And I had the door slightly ajar so that I could air out, and prevent mildew or whatever from building up in there. And I I go to put my stuff away
Mm-hmm.
into the walk-in, and when I came back out, I noticed the steamer was billowing steam out, and I look at Max and I point at the steamer and I go, "Did you turn this on? Why did you turn this on?" And you care to finish your
Yeah.
half?
So you had turned around to go put something away, and all of a sudden I just hear ka-chunk, whoosh, and all the steam. There's so much steam coming out of the machine, more steam than I've ever actually seen come out of it, by the way. And nobody was back there. It was just me, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So you came back, and I was like, "Hey, dude, did you like set the timer for the steamer or turn it on?" And you were like, "No, dude." And you were asking me if I turned it on.
Yeah.
And then another one of our coworkers came back, and she was like, "Who turned on the steamer?" And so yeah, so I'm pretty. And then we were like, "Don't breathe in that fucking steam. That's ghost steam."
That's ghost demon steam.
So I don't know what it's trying to accomplish, but yeah, that's my run.
That's not the only time. So other coworkers there have also encountered this on the level of we hear our names
Yeah.
called out constantly throughout the day. And, sometimes, it is someone legitimately trying to talk to you and say, "Hey, Max, I need to talk to you." But it happens sometimes, like, there's no one around you. There's no one in the kitchen. There's no one in the hallway. The only people are at the very, very front of the house, away from everyone. But then I'll be standing in the kitchen, like, what was it, last month?
Yeah.
I was standing up front at one of the workstations, and you were on lunch. Everyone else was gone, and I hear from behind me, I hear like a thud on the bench behind me, and I hear, "Hey." And I turn around expecting you to be there. And I turn around, as I was turning around, I was jokingly saying like, "Oh, that was a short lunch." But I didn't get to say short lunch. I said, "Hey, that was a short turn around," and no one was there.
Man, I remember that.
And I was like, "Whoa, okay. Well, no one's here. All right." And I just kind of went about my day. But, it's like, "Hey, Little Bear."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Who? Who's there?" No one's there.
Yeah. So, and then like there's people who were talking about, I mean, you have seen it yourself, like shit getting thrown off of the shelves.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally like,
Not falling,
not
forcefully.
falling, not like, oh, the shelf was packed too tightly or something. It's literally like someone grabbed it and physically threw it to the ground. On top of that, we have the faucets.
Oh my God.
They constantly turn themselves on and off.
Handles rotate.
Yeah, and it's not just like bad water pressure like coming through, like, there's like a pressure buildup in the main or something. This is you literally watch the hot or cold handle turn on and the water comes out. And it's not just like a slow dribble.
Yeah,
it's like on.
It's on.
And it fucking goes.
Yeah. So there's no, I don't know. And I want to do research into the place that we work and see, did somebody die? Did somebody kill themselves there?
Yeah.
I mean,
there
people-
has to be something.
People get injured there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, vengeful ghost maybe. I mean, was there a murder on site? We get a lot of sketchy customers.
That's so true.
So I would love to figure it out or get some. We have our buddy Ricky. He's got paranormal investigator friends.
Yeah.
Let's get somebody in there. I would love to find out if my kitchen's haunted.
Hey, any podcasters out there that are into the paranormal, we'd like to speak with you, and maybe we could, I don't know, possibly set something up.
Yeah, or the
Not 100%, but
or if you're interested in the paranormal, which is Garfield Phantoms.
Garfield Phantoms.
Yeah,
Never heard of that.
like Garfield, the cat.
Oh, like lasagna?
Garfield.
Yeah.
There's a character in there called Nermal.
Okay.
So paranormal.
Paranormal.
So those are all of my best ghost stories. Do you have any good ghost stories you want to like lay out just for
Dude.
Christmas?
Like no shit. So growing up, practically like almost my entire life, I have encountered some kind of a paranormal thing.
Okay.
And like, you know, most people like, yeah, obviously some of them can be easily explained away. It's like, oh, you know, there's a vacuum in the room, so the door opened. Explainable, understandable, get it, totally cool. But then there's those other instances where something happens, like the steamer turning itself on. You know, like how? How? So I have my fair share of both, but when I was a teenager, I was living with my parents at the time. I was about 16, 17 years old, and I was in the downstairs room, and I was texting some of my friends, you know, and I'm just sitting on the couch, and in front of me, I have my TV, and it's a big, like kind of entertainment hutch type of thing, and it had those old school glass doors with the magnet. It was the magnetized doors that you had to like click in, and then they would pop open.
Yeah, I know exactly.
So I'm on the couch texting, and the TV and the radio, everything's off. It's just a quiet room. And as I'm texting, I hear the radio click on. And I was like, what the fuck? You know? So I was like, okay, whatever. I turn it off, and I didn't think anything of it. And then after I turned it off, I go back to texting, and then the TV turns on. So I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of getting weird. So I turn the TV off. And then after I turn that off, I go back to texting, and it's about 2 minutes or so. And then I hear a and it's those fucking magnets on those glass doors. And then I look up after the click just in time to literally watch these two glass doors slowly like and they creep open. And there was some like little trinkets in there. They were just like things from my father growing up. He grew up in Japan, so he had like little trinkets that he grew up with, you know, like little jade turtles and things like that.
Yeah.
And some of them were just like pop out. One of them moved. And after that happened, I was like, I had a flip phone, like an old Motorola or Verizon like Razr at the time. So like I flip it closed and I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. And I just like got up and walked out of the room and just left the house.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But other than that, like the whole time I lived there, it would constantly hear footsteps in the hallway outside my room, upstairs above me, you know, it wasn't just like someone walking. It would always be like heavy ass footsteps, like boom, boom, boom.
Jeez.
And then I would hear that my bedroom door would constantly open, and I never slept with my bedroom door open or cracked. It would always be, you know, closed. And I would hear like the doorknob twist and then the door would open. So after that, like after a couple years of that, you just kind of get used to it, I guess. And then you kind of like nothing actually would happen. It would just be a lot of weird shit, you know, like, oh, that turned on again, the door opened again, like whatever. And you finally get used to it. And eventually it turned into a thing where you're just like you'd hear the footsteps or whatever upstairs. And I would just like be on my computer downstairs and I'd be like, hey, shut up there. You're making too much noise. And it would like quiet down. But then after I moved out, you know, it kind of, depending on where I was, it kind of died down. But I moved out. It was about 2 years later. I was living with one of my good friends, and we moved into a mother-in-law unit in our other friend's backyard.
Okay.
And this wasn't like an old place. He just built this thing.
Okay.
And it was a very basic, very, very basic mother-in-law unit. It was essentially a converted garage at the time.
Okay.
So it was like a studio with 2 bedrooms upstairs. It was a living space, kitchen, bathroom, and then a very narrow staircase. And then it split off left and right. My bedroom was on the left. Friend's bedroom was on the right.
Okay.
So me and my roommate are downstairs. And we just got back from the mountains. We went up shooting some guns, whatever, doing hick shit. And So we're cleaning out all the guns after shooting, and we had some music playing downstairs on like a little Bluetooth speaker in the middle of us. And you could hear it from my bedroom. It sounded like someone was jumping on my bed.
Okay.
And then it sounded like someone jumped off my bed, landed with like full force on both feet, hit the ground, ran from my bedroom. I kept my door closed all the time. The door flew open with enough force to break the drywall.
Oh my god.
And then you could hear footsteps running from my room across the hallway, open his bedroom door, jump on his bed, and we were both like, what the fuck?
That's fucking
so
scary.
he grabs his gun that's loaded.
Yeah.
And we both run upstairs and we're like, who the fuck is up here? And we look around and there's no one there. Both our beds are fucked up.
Oh my god.
The wall's punched in from the doorknob and there's nobody there. He moved out probably 3 months later. I moved out about 2 months after him.
Oh my god. Yeah. Anything else happen in the
After that, it was just noise. It wasn't like doors moving after that, but it was a lot of just fucking noise.
Maybe
like
it
a
was
lot of
trying to-
hitting and just like, boom, boom. You would
Maybe
constantly
it was a
hear that.
demon, and I thought you guys were sleeping and tried to fucking just demolish you.
So
Who knows what would happen if
but
you'd been
after
taking it
that, yeah, it's just been a lot of that.
Well, nothing gets me in the holiday spirit more than
Scary ghost
Scary ghost
stories
stories.
and tales of whatever and something of long, long ago.
And I think that's gonna do it for us.
Yeah.
I hope you had a spooktacular time with us this holiday season. Whatever you're celebrating, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa, Good Christmas to y'all. Again, you can find out information about Help Sember. Use the hashtag Help Sember. Help us raise awareness. Beagle Freedom. Nobody can ever say it. The Beagle Freedom Project. You can find them at bfp.org, and Locks of Love. Find information about them at locksoflove.org. Have a great holiday season. We'll see you in the new year.
Yes.
This is our last episode of 2017.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Keep it sleazy.